I'm wondering, let me ask you a semi-political question here, because I
Sure.
think this could really affect Trump. The fact that there's no college football, because I think a lot of people in this country are like, well, Trump, you can kill Granny and you can tank the economy, but you know what? Don't take away my football. If I can't paint my face like it's Halloween and get blackout drunk at 9 in the morning in a parking lot and go watch 19-year-olds give each other brain damage, you have just lost my vote. Do you think that actually could affect the election?
Listen, we have two people running for president that are in their late 70s. I don't think it's the most dynamic presidential election of my life. I'm not sure how we got here. I think people in America, there's a referendum bill, and they're going to vote against the sitting president, not necessarily for his challenger. I believe that to be true. I believe suburban housewives have turned. That's my guess. I don't think football would affect it. NFL will go on. It will make it through. I mean, again, we're going to have a lot of players test positive. Let's not freak out. Like, they're not promising us in the NFL. They're not promising us nobody's going to test positive. College football right now, 2 conferences out, 3 in. My guess is in a week, they're all out.
Yeah. And baseball, if I go back to that for 1 minute, I mean, they are flirting sometimes now with canceling their season because we've had teams that did get a lot of players sick.
Yeah.
The Marlins, I think, and the Cardinals, right? And then, you have to go to basically the, next man up, and, it's a lot of scrubs playing. But I hope they don't cancel the season for any reason. I think it would be terrible for morale. I think somebody has to run the flag up and say, we're the can-do people. We played sports during World War II. During World War II, the Steelers in football, I'm sure you know this, and the Eagles, the 2 Pennsylvania teams combined to make 1 team, the Steagles. That's what they said, because there's an emergency on, and we're just going to get through it. Ted Williams probably would have hit 800 homers if he didn't have to fight in 2 wars. We're the can-do people. We don't quit. We keep playing. Don't you think that's important?
Well, Bill, if you really look at what's worked here, UFC, Dana White, aggressive, rented an island. NASCAR, aggressive, we're going for it. Golf, early, no fans, we're going for it. The people that have bulldozed through social media fear-mongering, the people who have been steadfast in their beliefs, those sports and those leagues have worked. If you're going to sit around and worry about what they say on Twitter, there's a lot of fear porn. You're in big trouble. Right. And so Dana White, NFL, Bill, you know this. Those owners want a season. We're going to have a season.
What'd you think, speaking of Twitter, what'd you think of Greg Popovich standing? It's interesting, we went from, like, for only a year ago, I mean, almost nobody was kneeling. I remember when that issue first came up, and I said, well, given the history of this country, it wouldn't be such a bad idea if everybody in the stadium, all the fans, kneeled too. I mean, and now that's kind of what's happening. Everybody's kneeling. And Greg Popovich, who has impeccable liberal credentials, he just said, look, I just made the decision at the moment. Everyone was kneeling, but they played the anthem, and I just felt like standing. And I thought, yeah, you know what? You can do both things. You can say Black Lives Matter and I love my country. And how about just you do you, I'll do me. We don't have to do all the same thing at the same time all the time.
Well, your resume should matter. Okay, LeBron James did not put Black Lives Matter on his jersey. He didn't give us an answer why.
Right.
He has equity in this. Popovich, right. Isn't it nice that your resume matters and you're not judged on a singular photo on social media?
Right.
Bill, I've never talked about this, but I've always had this feeling that all sports asks something of us. Baseball asks us, no clock, be patient. It'll take a while. Football asks us, there's a regulated level of violence. You have to be comfortable with some of it. And the NBA with LeBron James asks us, there are social causes in the Black community that we care about. And we'll wear a t-shirt or we may kneel. And that's okay. I opt in on that. Now, I don't think we should be arrogant. Let's not be naive. Kneeling doesn't land the same for everybody. You're a talk show host, I am. You say something on the air, it lands completely different. It's not contextualized on social media, and you can't believe what's happening with the clickbait.
Right.
So that kneeling to me lands as police reform and social justice.
Right.
Not for everybody, but it's okay. You know, I think you may have talked about this. If we're demanding growth from people, you can't simultaneously demand perfection.
Right.
Drew Brees was tone deaf, but that's okay because then his teammates, he discusses this and he goes, okay, I was tone deaf. That's what growth is, Bill.
Right.
It's making mistakes, the ability to make mistakes. Too often now we want perfection and growth, and they can't coexist.
Right. And as I've said many times, you can hate Trump. You can't hate all the people who like him. It's just too many people, and